So the first question I'm just gonna ask you is, what is your job and kind of your career line right now?
So I am a systems engineer at a defense contractor. I'll leave it at that. um, I think the guideline is don't share the name if you don't have to. But yeah, so I'm a systems engineer. I work on satellite programs, and I've really enjoyed it. Been doing it for since I graduated with my master's, so about a year and a half now, just over. I did my undergrad in aerospace engineering at the University of Michigan. I did my master's in space engineering at the University of Michigan, which is a program that kind of combines systems engineering with um, a lot of space specific engineering kind of courses, satellites, that kind of thing, and also a bit of project management um, and how kind of government contracts work and that type of thing. So that master's program definitely set me up well for the job that I'm doing now. And yeah, enjoying it very much. Don't have a whole lot of complaints. I live in the Bay Area. That's the only complaint is that things are very expensive. But other than that, life's good.
Could you kind of give a general, I don't know, word of advice for anyone kind of interested within your field or trying to get along that path, and break down your kind of education even further, like what courses you'd probably recommend someone take?
Sure. Um, yeah, so like I said, did undergrad aerospace, which was a lot of fun and kind of exposes you to a lot of different um, disciplines and courses, both through the courses that you take, obviously, but then also the types of people that you meet in the clubs you might join, being on that kind of major as well. So you encounter a lot of electrical folks and computer science folks and mechanical folks, all these type different, kind of more specific engineering disciplines you might think of, and aerospace itself. You have the kind of aeronautical science part of it, and the kind of space science part of it. But then you really do have to know a little bit about um, a few other things too, in electrical, in mechanical, in those type of disciplines, and they all kind of form what you do as an aerospace engineer. So, as far as advice, I would say for somebody that's in the field and just starting, whether you're coming out of high school, going into college, into engineering school, um, get around, get a lot of experience with different types of people, get a lot of different experiences with courses. I've taken a bunch of computer science type courses, a bunch of not a bunch of, but an electrical engineering course that was pretty interesting. You get all your aeronautical stuff, you get all your mechanical stuff, and um, it really allows you to see the bigger picture a lot of the time with the kind of projects that you'll work on when you actually go into industry. And that's one of the big things I'd say, once you are in industry, that helps you to enjoy what you're doing, is having that kind of more holistic perspective. With a lot of projects that you work on, you can sometimes be really deep in the trenches, as it were, right? You're looking at this one, like if you're a mechanical engineer, you're looking at this one little strut on a spacecraft for months on end, kind of thing. and it's nice to be able to have some background in other disciplines and be able to look at those things and kind of get a bigger picture, and really understand what you're working on and why it's important and those types of things. So hopefully that wasn't too rambly.
No, I think that was great. Um, how's I guess managing your own personal life with work and kind of the job security of it? I know those are two kind of questions. I know obviously also in college you were part of marching band, so did
Yep.
that prepare you, you think, for time management?
Yes, it made me kind of have to have my shit together a lot of times, right? And so
Oh my god,
it's
he swore.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry. Um, so yeah, the with marching band in college, it's a huge time commitment, but it's also uh, so much fun, and all the opportunities you have with that. Especially, I went to University of Michigan, so pretty big school,
Go blue.
and go blue. Big games to go to for football when you're in the marching band. So that definitely was a really cool experience, and having those activities outside of your specific schoolwork and stuff really helps um, to make you feel better and more well-rounded, and gets you exposed to other types of people that you wouldn't necessarily see. And that's something that I think was big because being an engineering major, you can really get stuck in those libraries and buildings studying all day or whatever you might be doing, but it's really important to be able to have conversations, friends with in other disciplines outside of engineering, um, people that might move to other parts of the country that you'll still know or whatever, and be able to visit and that kind of thing. It's a very good experience. And then as far as the time management part specifically, it takes up so much time. You got your uh, we had rehearsal every day on the weekdays, and then also the game on Saturday. So it's your whole Saturday is gone, and every evening is gone of your week for a good chunk. So really makes you um, have to schedule your life, which is a good skill to be able to have. Obviously, you want to be able to kind of break out of that on occasion and let let yourself relax, but it is an important skill to be able to have, and managing your calendar and whatever it may be. So I think, yeah, marching band was definitely a huge part of that. And then, yeah, with work now, obviously, kind of different. I'm lucky enough to be able to have a lot of flexibility in my scheduling with how I work. We do what a lot of companies call a 410 schedule. Um, so that's 4 days a week, 10 hours. So Monday through Thursday, I work 8 to 6, and then I'm done for the week. So 3 day weekend basically every weekend, which is really, really nice. Doesn't always end up that way because, there's either stuff to do and what have you, but that's something that in the kind of working world now is fairly common, especially in engineering. So that is a I enjoy it. It's not for everybody, especially if you think about um, people who have young kids or whatever it is. It's a lot harder to take those extra 2 hours at the end of the day. Um, but that is very nice to be able to have, I guess.
Nice.
Um, yeah. Um,
And can I ask what you do on your free time and how you've
Play
been
video
managing?
games with
Yeah.
you and
Yeah.
not a whole lot
That
else.
exposed both of us.
Yeah, no. Put it in the books. Put it on the
It's
internet.
official, yes.
Everybody knows. No.
Me and Jack are video game
Yes,
buddies. It's how our
exactly.
friendship actually happened, and here we
Began
are
more or
now.
less. Yeah, I know. We went to high school together and knew each other, but
Very
like
much, yeah.
not really.
Very much acquaintances.
Yeah, yeah, acquaintances, and then
Through Tyus, shout out to
yeah,
Tyus.
yeah,
He's actually the outro or the intro
The
audio
intro
for the
music.
music. Yeah.
Yes, Takeo
Uh,
Beats.
yeah, he
Follow
introduced
on
us, and now we
Spotify.
play games and basically send each other Instagram memes every day.
Yep, yep. The reels get ridiculous. All those reels that you see about your friends sending you too many reels.
Yeah,
That's
they feel like
us.
it
Yeah.
switches between every hour. Who sends like 4 or 5?
Oh
um,
no. I've been trying to use that screen time thing though. That's helped a little bit, but
oh, there
it's
you go.
it's
Yeah,
too it's too easy to get rid of though. You know, because
yeah.
like I have it set for like all my social media stuff for like 45 minutes a day or
Like
something like
I
that.
know you go over it. Yeah, you
But then
stop
it's
yourself.
like you just press a button and it's like 15 more minutes. Oh, there we go. I want to see what people have.
Well,
But
maybe you
I
can.
think I think it might. I think you can put a password on it. Maybe it's time. Wow, Josh, what a great series!
Yeah.
You're making me have these realizations
Hey,
about
I mean
myself.
that's the goal of it. Teach others and maybe teach you someday.
Yeah,
So talking about a little bit. What are your plans, kind of like career wise? You think for the next few years?
yeah. That's a good question. I mean, I'm very happy where I am right now, and with what I'm working on. The project I'm working on is a lot of, I don't know if I should say fun, but it's a lot of good, interesting work for the most part.
Is
Um,
that a government official answer or is that a
no,
personal
no,
answer?
just more personal answer.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
like I think it's still work to a degree. Obviously, I for the most part I enjoy it, and it's routine, and it goes well, and I like the people that I work with, which is huge. But um, it's still work at the end of the day, and so you kind of get that. You have those feelings about it. But yeah, really enjoying what I'm doing now, and the um, project that I'm working on at the moment, and the team that I'm on is basically the project should be over in like a year and a half from now. So there's a big possibility that at that point I'll move on to some other project. There's could even go to a different company. We'll see. I don't know what that holds exactly. I've heard a lot of different things in my own kind of conversations about career and all that type of stuff. Like a lot of advantages to moving around, um, just experience and money wise. When you kind of move to a different company, they tend to give you a pay bump, which is nice. But then there's also the kind of downsides of obviously, you know, make new friends, all that kind of stuff. Um, the online hometown friends obviously help, but still tough. Miss people. Um, but I I'd like to think that I'll still be doing systems engineering on space projects for a good, another at least 5 years into the future, and beyond that. I really do enjoy what I do, but I'm also, especially being fairly early in my career, year and a half is not really that much in the grand scheme of things. Even though feels like a while at this point. I'm kind of open to what the future might hold, whether um, that be at my company or on a different project or whatever. So yeah, very very open,
Yeah.
very open,
Well,
and go with the flow.
audience doesn't know this, but obviously you and I both know this. You're not in this alone, right? You have a partner in
Oh
crime,
yeah, that's right.
Kristen. So can you
Hmm.
kind of dive into that relationship and like? I
Yes,
know it's a very distinct
Kristen is the
reason.
best. Yeah.
It's a very unique. Well, I'd say unique in that I don't have many friends that have met their other through this, but
Hmm.
it works, and you're a clear
Yeah,
example
I
of it.
mean,
Yeah,
well, what Josh is alluding to is that we met on Tinder initially, which is not something that I feel like uh,
people are open about.
lasts. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, open about and lasts
yes,
necessarily. Um, you know, it it's it's really worked out better than I could have ever imagined, kind of thing. You meet somebody that you're not expecting to have a long term thing with necessarily. Obviously, it's Tinder, so but we really, hit it off, and it was a time in a time in history, you could say. I guess it was during COVID. Really kind of an interesting time, and our COVID bubbles kind of merged from getting to know each other during that time, and it was a lot of um, it was great to really be able to spend as much time together as we did. And Kind of at the beginning of our relationship, and really get to know each other well, and we're just, you know, kind of really well compatible, which obviously helps. That we really enjoy being with each other like all the time, which is another thing that really helps. Um, we live together, so and we really like to live together, and we, go on road trips for hours on end, and we enjoy being in the same space as each other for that long. So those kinds of things really, are really great things to have in a relationship with somebody. And yeah, I have no complaints with that.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
I can
been
say within the
fantastic.
first honestly, four sentences Kristen said to me when I first met her. I'm not gonna disclose what she said,
Yeah,
but
thank you,
uh,
thank you.
I immediately was like, "Oh, dude, this is
Yeah,
like my favorite friend's girlfriend, like ever. This she's awesome."
well,
Uh,
thank you, and
can you kind of
she'll be happy to
also
hear
kind of
that.
yeah, she's great, man. Can you also talk about just moving in, like that decision together? Like you guys moved in
Moving,
Michigan, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
In So we got together. It was January 2021. So halfway through our junior year, and then um, we moved in together August of 22. So we'd been dating for about a year and a half, basically, and even a little bit earlier than that, made the decision to move in together. Um, it was something that she kind of pushed for a little more than I was, and I was a little more unsure. Um,
That's on
but
brand.
yeah, yeah, on brand, on brand. But at the end of the day, I, kind of thought about it a little more, and we liked each other enough to do it, so we did it, and it's been awesome. I mean, having somebody at home with you all the time that you like to hang out with is awesome, and you can plan meals together and save money and also do stuff like watch movies and watch TV and all that kind of thing. So it was a really, I'm very glad that I made that decision. And we lived together in Michigan for a year while I did my master's program and she worked, and then we moved together out to the Bay Area for my job. So
Is there kind of like a key advice you'd say for new couples, or I guess specific guys thinking about moving in with their girlfriends? You know, a lot of people obviously do it, try to do it
go
after
on a
marriage,
trip,
but
go on a trip together where it's just you two, and see how your interactions are when there's nobody else around. I think that's a huge thing. Like, do you really, like, are you okay with having this be the only person you interact with for hours and hours and hours, kind of thing? I think that's huge. And we kind of did that. We went on a big road trip together before we moved in together, kind of all over the Northeast, um, which was so much fun, and we really enjoyed all our time with that. And especially after that happened, we had kind of decided, I think before then, at that point, to move in together. But at that point it was like, oh yeah, this will work, this will work great. So yeah, I'd say go on a trip, hang out, just the two of you, and and for a long period of time, and see if it works, and just if it makes sense, you know and you feel like it's right in your gut, go for it. I'd say that. Yeah.
nice. And last question, man. Since I did bring up your significant other, anything soon for that? Any major you think? Bring on that
Um,
soon, maybe? I know. I totally just.
I'm putting this on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Um, I mean, we've been together for it'll be 4 years in like 2 weeks.
Whoa! Oh my!
I know.
Whoa!
So yeah, so it's been a while. I know. Hearing some stories about your bailiff friends, it sounds like it goes a lot quicker.
Heck yeah!
Goes a little quicker down in Texas. So I yeah, I mean, I think some things could
Yeah.
occur with that sometime soon.
I mean, it's probably don't need me extra question. Probably don't need me to restate it, but Kristen's the one, yeah?
I think so.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah, I'm pretty darn sure about that.
Well, I mean, that's all I have for you unless you have any last piece of advice or anything for the camera? Little lively wisdom from good old Jack Adams?
Me, um, you can control what you can control in life, and do your best to do so, but also go with the flow to a degree. Just you kind of got to make your own decisions at some points, but a lot of the times things happen, and one way or another, make the best of it, and that's worked out for me pretty well. So, bit of a rambly conclusion, but that helps.
Awesome. Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you.